everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new video. And I'm really excited to be bringing you this project because it's an interactive card and it's easy to do. In today's video, I'm using new products from Simon Says Stamp's Kisses release, as well as some other products that were released during December as part of their Hugs collection. The Hugs and Kisses releases both go together, hence Hugs and Kisses. And I wanted to utilize some of the products from both releases to make this interactive card. I'm starting off with the A-Glazing Day stamp set. It's a stamp set I actually designed for Simon's Hugs release. I really loved how it turned out with these fun donuts and cakes. Off screen, I colored them with some Copic markers. I used a pretty limited color palette in just some browns, pinks, and reds. So because there's an interactive element in today's video and I wanted that to be the focus, I'm not going to show you the coloring because one, it was so simple, and two, I figured you could color your images however you want. I really want you to learn how to make this interactive slider. So let's talk about that. This slider plate die is what I used to make my interactive slider card. So you're going to cut out the pull tab from the middle section of this die, and you're going to die cut these two little slider pieces from your paper, and those will create the tracks for the slider element. First, let's make our background. I have a piece of white cardstock here that I'm ink blending with Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated ink in Peony, and I'm using a blending brush to get a really nice coverage. I've chosen this heart-shaped cookie as the piece that's going to move on my card. And I'm just deciding on the placement of my slider track to make sure that the cookie doesn't go too high on my card. Once I'm happy with the placement, then I'll tape this in place and run it through my die cut machine to create those tracks. Once I removed this piece from my paper, you can see the two tracks that are created. And those little negative leftover pieces, we're going to save those to help attach our cookie to the slider. I'm using some gliders here. These are a product that we sell at Simon Says Stamp, and they come in two different styles. One is a straight up and down glider, and the other one is a rotating glider. For this particular project, you're going to want the straight up and down gliders, which can be distinguished by the rectangular shape that's cut out of them. The gliders that have a circle cut out of them, those are the rotating ones. That's how you know which are which. So now that I have my glider pieces here, I'm going to snap them into the tracks. Now here I want to preface, if you don't have these glider pieces, they are really helpful. I love them. But if you don't have them, you can still make this project with pennies. Just like the traditional penny slider, that's exactly what this is. You'll just need 2 pennies for your project. So whether you use the gliders or the pennies, you're going to attach your slider mechanisms inside the tracks. Now that we have them both affixed into the tracks, we're going to attach one of those little negative bars that was cut out from when we die cut the slider plate, and we're going to attach those 2 glider elements together. So now they'll move in tandem. This way we can also attach our element, in this case my cookie, onto that piece. There's also a pull tab included with that slider plate, and I'm going to attach it onto my cookie with some double-sided adhesive. And I cut this from Simon Says Stamp's new Rich Red Matte Metallic cardstock. So this will be the pull tab that allows me to move that cookie up and down on the tracks. I'm attaching all of the other cookies and donuts onto my card using foam tape, being careful not to get any adhesive on top of that cookie that is the interactive element, because we don't want that to be impeded by any of the other elements on this card. So once you've assembled all of your cookies in place, we're ready to add a greeting on top of that cookie that moves. I'm using a Valentine's Day greeting, but you could use any other sentiment. Birthday card, this would be such a cool birthday card to give to somebody. And that's one of the things I really liked about when I designed the A-Glazing Day stamp set, is that it's not just meant for Valentine's Day. You can use it for year round. I could see those cookies and donuts colored in a rainbow of colors, and they would be so much fun for a birthday card. So I'm going to attach my sentiment straight down on top of that cookie with some double-sided tape, and then I just checked the placement to make sure it wasn't going to get stuck on anything and pressed it down really well so it's adhered fully. So there we have it. We have our cute little pull tab, and the cookie reveals the greeting, which I think is so much fun. So I'm creating my card base from some white cardstock, and then I'm stamping this Jumbled Hearts background stamp, also new from Simon, onto that white cardstock with peony ink. Once I've stamped it, then I'm going to bring in that same ink again, and I'm going to ink blend only the bottom portion of this card. So it'll have a gradient look, it'll soften those hearts a little bit, and it gives this a really nice feel. The darker color draws your eyes down towards the bottom of the card where all the cookies and everything are, so it ties in really well with the design on the front. I embellished my cookies and donuts with some glitter. This happens to be some Stickles. I love using Stickles for that nice little pop of glitter and dimension. So I colored a lot of the different sprinkles and icing elements with those. So here you have it, my finished interactive card using the slider plate die, the A-Glazing Day stamps and coordinating dies, and I even used the Jumbled Hearts background stamp to create the background of my card. I love how this project turned out. It's so much fun to pull the tab up and down to reveal that cute little greeting that's hidden behind the other cookies. I hope you were inspired by today's project and that you will try out this slider plate die along with the other products that I used today. If you're interested in the products, I have them all linked below in the video description as well as on my blog, so be sure to check all that information out for all the details. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will be back very soon with more to share with you all, but until then, I hope you have an A-Glazing day. Bye!